Welcome back to the Suburban Deviant. Today we're doing a forensic deep dive into a production titled Baby Doll. It is a film that starts with a mundane morning routine and ends in a psychological nightmare. I'm joined by one of the directors, Haley Horowitz. Haley, I've watched this opening sequence multiple times now, and that jump from the unicorn onesie to the crime scene, it honestly makes my skin crawl.
Thanks for having me, Carrie. That was the exact reaction we wanted from the audience. This project was a study in psychological contrast. I wanted to see how far I could push the idea of daylight horror, where the monster isn't hiding in the dark, but sitting right across from you at the breakfast table. We wanted the horror to feel domestic and inescapable.
How does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? Let's look at the evidence. We see that the morning routine, then a body on the grass, and then our antagonist in a yellow dress eating eggs with ketchup. How does this play with the thriller conventions?
Well, Carrie, the ketchup wasn't really ketchup. It was blood. Yeah. But anyways, I am using the domestic noir genre, but I'm challenging the idea that killers look like monsters. The yellow dress is a visual lie. Yellow usually represents happiness, optimism, and being full of energy, which masks the visceral red of the blood. But the real psychological challenge comes at the end. The killer is talking to people at the table, but there's no one there.
Ugh, that wide shot is so haunting. Seeing her just talking to thin air. How did you film that so the audience realized she was alone?
Well, we utilized a wide shot to show the whole table is empty. We had the killer on the left side of the screen, and all the positive space showed all the empty seats. It's a visual way to represent a total psychological break without using any dialogue. I honestly think it's pretty clever. Don't you think, Carrie?
I thought it was brilliant. It highlights the isolation the killer experiences. Did you always know you wanted your killers to have a mental health issue?
Well, Carrie, that's a great question. So at first, no. But after looking over numerous case studies, we found that the most terrifying killers in movies had one thing in common. Can you guess what that is?
No, what?
A complete disconnect from reality. We wanted to represent that 50s era perfect facade, clashing with the modern Gen Z student athlete's life. We used the song Love Me by Elvis Presley, which is very popular in the 50s, to show that behind that perfect sentiment, there's always something obsessive and broken.
And the aesthetic? It feels modern, but has that vintage sting to it.
So yeah, once again, that's exactly what we're trying to represent. The Gen Z student athlete group, and we show this by the victim, having a backpack and the water bottle. And we're clashing this, like I said previously, with the 1950s of the era influence. So the killer's dress is yellow, vintage styled, and the song Love Me by Elvis Presley creates a sense of suburban deception. It shows that violence can exist in any era, hidden behind, once again, a perfect facade.
How does your product engage with audiences, and how would it be distributed as a real media text? I have to ask, that ketchup on the egg shot, it was so gross because it looked exactly like blood on the victim. How did you even eat those eggs after filming that?
That's honestly really funny. It was a struggle. We had to do a few takes to get the ketchup, or the blood, to pour just right so it matched the next trauma shot previously. I don't know if you noticed, but the victim had a glass glow smile. Have you ever heard of that, Carrie?
I have not.
So that's basically when the blood is extended past the victim's mouth. We added it as a signature staple the killer does after killing its victims. It's just like a little memento the killer does after each kill. Anyways, by the end, the smell of cold eggs and ketchup was definitely not the aesthetic anymore. But that's the engagement. I wanted the audience to feel that same physical discomfort.
Wow, I never knew about that glass glow smile. That is really interesting. Mission accomplished. Now, if this was a real film hitting theaters, how would you have distributed it?
So I'd follow the multi-platform digital route. So I'd partner with big hits like Netflix or Hulu. And for marketing, I'd use marketing on TikTok, movie posters, and movie trailers. I was thinking we could leak doorbell camera footage of the girl in the yellow dress just standing at the end of a driveway with no context, no title, just the mystery. That can create that sense the audience wants. It turns the film into a viral urban legend, basically. And here are some examples of movie posters I created. And also, to be a viral meme too, I can also add our blooper reel to bring some comedy into it as well.
How did your production skills develop throughout this project? Now let's talk technicality. This isn't just point and shoot. How did your camera work and cinematography actually evolve?
That's a great question. So for Baby Doll, I developed a visual vocabulary. So I learned different vocabulary along the way, including extreme close-ups, and we use this during the toothbrushing to create a sense of vulnerability. We use a tracking shot, and I don't know if you can notice, but the camera follows her out the door, and it makes the audience feel like they are stalking her. And also the cut to the black creates suspense for the audience, which also creates a sense of urgency. We use the high angle shot, and we use this shot on the victim to make her look small and powerless. And lastly, we did precision framing. So the angle for the ketchup, or called a bird's eye view basically, we use this angle for the ketchup blood shot, and we had it mirror the blood on the neck perfectly.
The blank expression on her face while she was eating, it's so robotic. How did you direct her to say that still?
So I told our actor to keep her face basically dead while her hands did all the work. We actually used makeup to enhance that dullish look, using gray eyeshadow and dark eye makeup to make her look hollowed out. I wanted her to look like a baby doll, but pretty, but empty on the inside.
How did you integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online in this project? Let's talk tools. You built an entire digital ecosystem: CapCut, Canva, and your blog.
So it was a 3-pillar system. We used Canva, CapCut, and Blogger to all create this perfect film opening. So I used Canva to generate color palettes. It took me a long time to find a yellow that looked innocent but turned toxic next to the red. I also designed the official movie posters in Canva. And CapCut was our main source of how we basically edited the whole film opening. So this was our primary tool, and we edited the whole movie and the title slides here. We layered the morning routine song with the song Baby Doll by Dominic Fike, which has that upbeat, normal teen girl vibe, against a black cut to total silence for the dust scene. And we also used Blogger, and this was my master log. It documents everything, from researching past bloody killers to solving technical fixes. It's the forensic proof of the whole creative process. And Carrie, I just want to talk about how we created the name Baby Doll. Baby Doll, we got it from originally the song by Dominic Fike, and we thought this was the perfect song to use as it created a sense of like killer-esque vibe. What do you think about it, Carrie? Do you like it?
I thought it was a great use of not only the song, but placement in the movie.
I thought it was a great source of symbolism, don't you think?
I agree. So we had a unicorn onesie, an Elvis soundtrack, and a dinner with ghosts. Haley, thank you for sharing the Baby Doll case file with us today. I found it interesting how you added all these unique elements to your film opening. I can't wait to see the rest of your film.
The clues were in the colors the whole time. Thanks for having me, Carrie. This was so much fun.
Well, thank you for being here, Haley. This has been another Suburban Deviant. Case closed.